So we're on to Donald Duck, Musketeer Soldier. And I think this is quite a good Musketeer card. He is a 3-cost 2/3 with Bodyguard, quest for 1. However, he has Wait for Me, which says when you play this character, chosen character gets +1 lore this turn.
I don't think I read this. I've seen this card. I don't remember seeing Wait for Me was even a thing.
Yes, Wait for Me is a thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool, that's fun.
I like it. I don't think it's exceptionally broken or good or whatever, but I think it's a good card. And if Musketeers specific things... Oh, the other thing to note about him is he's also a hero, which comes up later. But yeah, I think Musketeer specific things, they're really pushing heroes, Musketeers, and stuff like that. So, yeah, he could be... I think he could be good. But he is, I think, a common, I want to say. Let's have a look.
I feel like...
Uncommon.
He's
I feel
not
like
half goat.
No, let's pick one. Go on, Abby, you go.
I think he's like half a goat, because you're required to have another character on the board. But
Yes, yeah.
he can, or maybe a quarter of a goat, because a
Quarter
goat on
of
the
a
board
goat,
is
yeah.
just aggravating. But yeah, I don't mind him.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I feel
fun.
like he's not going to be a 4 of.
No.
If even in a Musketeer deck, I think you're only throwing maybe 2 in.
Yeah.
Because there are better, depending on realistically with bodyguards, or at least with Musketeers right now, you are running, it'll be Amber Steel,
Yes.
and there are better bodyguards to run at 3, like the Prince.
That's true. That is
He
true.
already quests for 2 and he has resist 1 or 2, whatever it is. So.
That's fair. So the next one up, if we're done with Donald, the uncommon, is another uncommon, is Felix Madrigal. Felix is a 3-cost 2/4, quest for 2, Storyborn ally Madrigal, fun-loving family man. He doesn't do anything. He's just there. Definitely sealed deck filler for me. Draft/sealed deck
Agreed.
filler.
A decent-ish stat line, but yeah,
Yep.
it's not going to get used in big play unless.
Unless
I
Madrigal.
don't know. I don't actually know. There's another 3-cost with that stat line, but
No. But yeah, just a good card, but definitely filler. Mainly because next, a super rare Gaston, who is the Despicable Dealer, which I believe he was dealing some things. He's a Storyborn villain. He's a 3-cost uninkable 2/4. Quest for 1. And when you tap him, or exert him, I should say, I'm using the wrong terminologies. You may pay 2 less for the next character that you play this turn. Thoughts? I know what my thought is.
I don't think he's better than Doc. Which is the slot he's
I would
taking,
kind
right?
of agree right now, because Doc is a 3-cost that quests for 2, 2, 3.
Uninkable.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's an inkable. He quests for 1. I think the good thing is he's got the 4 willpower, because he's probably going to survive, so you can bring out something big turn 4.
Just, I don't think it's better than the Pluto Doc Summit Big line.
So I have a theory about this card, and that is that the only saving grace of this card is that he has 4 toughness. The rest of the what he does, he's uninkable, which I don't like. I don't like uninkable cards unless they're really powerful.
You know what's quite funny?
Go.
Is it's just because this is what I really like about Lorcana, is sometimes like the synergy that you don't realize is happening, but it makes sense. Is that with something like this, you can get a pretty good combo off if you Gaston, you tap him, and then you pay nothing for the Ruby LeFou that readies him, and then you can tap him again and bring something else out. And I just think it's funny because it's LeFou and Gaston.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
And he brings out a LeFou for free, and then you tap him, and then you can, I don't know what you on turn 4, so you can actually bring out a 6-cost, so you get a free card anyway.
That is true.
Just because it's Gaston and LeFou. It's a nice little combo, to be fair. But
That is true.
both, yeah.
Yeah. There is another LeFou that makes himself cheaper if you have a Gaston in play, which costs 3.
I really liked it, wanted it to work, and it just isn't.
No,
Like, it's a 1/2. It quests for 2. He can cost 1.
Yes.
Yeah, if you have Gaston out,
Yeah.
but I mean, to be fair, now that this Gaston's a thing, there's an earlier Gaston. Oh wait, no, we have. What's the other one? Is it a 3 cost?
Yeah, there's a 3 cost one, I think.
Yeah.
I just don't think that this card has got a spot because it's uninkable. I just don't. I just think that Doc in this situation is just Doc better, basically. So I think we're all agreed. I don't, but obviously we can be wrong. So who knows? But anyway,
I will be wrong on a lot of things. I am every set, but then a lot of people are because they say certain cards are unplayable. They become like top cards. Beast Tragic Hero is a big thing. Yeah, it's not that good. Most expensive legendary in the game. Yeah,
because anything that says draw 2 cards or kill anything in front of it is good, right? So, anyway, moving on to a rare. Now this one is going to cause some issues, I think. I don't know. Maybe we'll disagree. This is a Golden Harp, Enchanter of the Land. It's 1 cost, inkable, 1/4, quest for 2. However, at the end of your turn, if you didn't play a song this turn, banish this character. Well, what do we think?
I don't like it. But I think I have a different opinion to a lot of people, but I am also not a good deck builder or card game player or assessor of cards, so I'm coming at this from a new player perspective, I guess. Card game perspective, I can't see... Everyone keeps telling me, like, 2-for-1s are bad. 2-for-1s are bad.
Yep.
And feels like a 2-for-1 to yourself.
Yes, so I have the thought that at any point where a card requires me to have other cards and play them when I might necessarily not want to play them just to keep the first card, and she doesn't sing anything, which is weird. This harp can't sing, despite the picture is of her singing or playing a melody or whatever.
Very true.
So she's inkable, which is fine, but currently there aren't any mechanics that say if a character was banished this turn, do X, like gain lore or something. Unless they're at locations. I think there are a couple of locations that might do that.
The only thing I can think of is that
there's Montanui, right?
Montanui. You'd have to play her, move her to Montanui, and then if she does get banished. But I don't think Ruby Sapphire is a thing, especially with the lack of songs that deck has.
No, it's just like I just don't see it being very good. Like you can't play it on turn 1 because it dies. Which that's fine. When you play it later on, its stat line becomes way worse, and you might have played your songs by the time you draw it, so you can't play it anyway. Which basically just means you're inking it every time you get it, which is okay. But why would you run a 56 card deck with 4 cards you're always going to ink? So
very true.
Yeah, I don't see top decking this. I think is a very feel bad. So I'm with Abby on this. I don't like this card. I don't think it's going to see any play, I'll be honest.
Just because I don't like it, there's going to be a deck that runs it for like a very specific reason that does really well, and I'm going to be like, yep, I knew nothing.
I feel like people will really try and make it work.
I do too.
Mind it. I think she's a very fun stat line. I like the fact that she's a 1/1/4 that quests for 2. A little bit surprised she's inkable because I feel like even with the stat line she has, they could have made her uninkable. But that's why I think she might see play more than you guys might, because if she is in a bad situation, you don't want to top deck her obviously, but if you're in like that steel song where you're in like complete control sort of situation, you throw her down. If not, yeah, she is ink.
Why would you not just run the Sleepy's Flute though at that point?
What, to gain a lot?
Yeah.
Depending on what your uninkables cap is.
Maybe. I suppose there might be decks that need
inkable
cards.
To be fair, but I don't think. Once again, this is definitely not a card you're running 4 of in any build.
The thing is, I don't think it's very good late game though either. Like, surely it's win more in the late game.
I feel like mid game when you're trying to really push, especially with Steel Song, if you can just get that extra couple of lore on the board, and if that point you've got like the whole new world, you've got songs everywhere. Coming out.
True.
But I still don't think she's like great.
No.
I'd probably in the set. This is a above average card, but not like a 6 out of 10.
A set line She needs a better stat line to have a banish. Because the thing is, if you're not playing a turn 1, she dies.
Yep.
You're not really playing a turn 2 because there's no songs turn 2, unless you've played Cinderella, and then you can play her and sing a song with Cinderella.
She's a mid-game card. I think.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the second you tap her sideways, if there's Mim Fox, she dies. It's like if she was a 1/5, it would feel more playable. But 4, I know literally like we're saying the opposite about Friar Tuck, like 3 to 4 being really important, but that 4 as well is not.
I do think
because you're playing her, you're not playing a turn 1. And if you don't play a turn 2, and later on there's so much stuff that just kills her the second she's turned sideways. So you're playing a song to keep her on the board for her then just to die the turn after.
True, but I also think that the songs like you are playing the songs with the like they will be doing something. I think with Steel Song there's always a reason. Whether you're playing like a more aggressive stuff like Storm Rage on, Strength, things like that, which is, your opponent's just not going to not throw down cards thinking you're going to have a song that you can't play and therefore it gets rid of Harp. They're going to want to put pressure on the board.
True.
Or like I don't know like what the Steel Song builds are going to look like in the next set. Obviously you can run Be Our Guest and things like that. I feel like there's more chance she doesn't see play later in the set. I feel like there's a higher chance as we start the set people are going to want to just give her a go.
Yeah, I agree. I think people are going to try and make this work because she quests for 2 and she only costs 1.
Rather than looking at her and thinking she will work, I think it's a maybe. People just want her to. I want her to because I enjoy the fact like it just 1/4 quest for 2. 1 has a funky little effect if you can keep her on the board. But yeah, she will die to most things. But I guess it takes pressure off other cards. You don't want to die like your little Cinderellas.
I honestly think that she's more likely to die to herself than she is for other people killing her. To be honest, because you're gonna just be like, "I'll kill you, Cinderella." She sings the songs, and then you're forced to keep her or sing or play a song, hardcast a song, and you might want to play your Ariel instead of that. Which means you can't sing the song, so she's just going to kill herself, like over and over and over again. Because obviously, if you played like the Cinderella into her, sing a song, you just kill the Cinderella and stop them singing songs. So, which you want to be doing anyway against Steel Song. But the point is that then you've essentially 3 for 1 of them at that point, which is So I don't know. Maybe she's an aggro card. Maybe there's an aggro deck with her in it. Good stats.
Maybe.
Good stats for an aggro card. Maybe we're looking at it wrong.
I put her a little bit above average, but even just the last thing for me with this, even if it is in an aggro build, the aggro build has to play cards and sing songs. I think that might be not a good idea.
Yeah, fair. I'm not sure.
Aggro is literally just play cards, turn.
Pass. Yeah. Let's move on anyway. I think we've discussed that. That's, I think, going to be the most contentious card. I think that was going to be the one that causes all the.
So far, definitely.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. We're on to another Musketeer. I didn't actually clock what rarity it was. A rare Goofy Musketeer Swordsman. He's a 4-cost uninkable 3/4. A quest for 2. He's a Dreamborn Hero Musketeer, and whenever you play a character with Bodyguard, ready this character. He can't quest for the rest of the turn. I don't actually like things that say ready them, they can't quest. But in this instance, he's a Musketeer, which could mean that he becomes relevant because there are other Musketeer-y cards that add things. So I think he could be good, but I'm gonna.
It's weird. So he's uninkable and he's 4. You've got to think about what else you're playing on 4, especially in the Musketeer deck. At least with a build, I don't know. Like you might want to play the Bodyguard Armor, which is a 4-cost uninkable item.
That is true.
It helps you draw cards when bodyguards die.
I do think it is. I do think the mouse, is it Mouse Armor? It's called.
Yes, Mouse Armor.
Mouse Armor is.
Mouse Armor. It's Musketeer Tabard.
Musketeer Tabard, I think. Yeah, that's the one. It plays Bodyguard, draws a card, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
When one dies, I can't remember.
Yeah, Mouse Armor gives him +1 resist, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I'm just not. I don't like the tagline. He can't quest for the rest of the turn. Like, let them quest twice. It's not that bad. There are way worse cards coming up than letting this guy quest twice. I do, however, like the fact that his ability is called On Gorsh as opposed to On Guard. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, but,
what about you, Abby?
What do you think?
I don't mind it. I'm not. My problem with Amber cards is I'm really not as good at. I don't know them as well.
Fair.
So I can't actually pick out what it would replace. Because I think I played one game of Amber Steel for fun, and went nope.
For fun.
For fun. For fun.
What? Well, yeah, but I was like, I played it. I picked it. I think it was Zan Saeed's deck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That he'd. I was like, so this is. I was like, this is a good deck. This is 100% a good deck. And I was like, I don't understand what I'm doing. I don't know.
I did exactly the same thing. I despise Amber Steel. So yeah.
Yeah, Amber cards are just not my. It's very fickle. I'm just the color does not aesthetically please me.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with some of the cards. It just is not my color.
Fair. Fair enough.
Which is not a good card game attitude when some cards are good in Amber, but it's also not. The play style of the Amber deck isn't my play style.
Fair.
I don't fully know where my play style is yet, but I know it's not Amber. I ruled that one out pretty quick.
That's completely fair.
So I don't know the cards in Amber very well, so I don't know what it's kind of competing against. But I don't mind it. But
in a random deck, I don't think this sees any play.
No.
If you want to build a Musketeer themed deck that is semi-viable, I still actually don't think this sees play.
I agree.
Your 4-cost Uninkables, even like before looking at this set, are pretty. Or your Uninkable count is. This isn't better than the other ones, and you have 4-cost cards like Rapunzel.
Yeah.
That's going to be a better card.
Yeah, so
especially with if your other things have bodyguard, they will be damaged by that point, or you'd expect them to be.
Yeah, I just think you've got better 4-cost things, right? In most colours. So
I'm going to try and get up the list on my phone of the regular stuff we have in the first 3 sets, just for.
Yeah, that's fair. So moving on, anyway, we don't think Goofy's worthy of his rare slot. I'm very sorry, Goofy. I do love you, but I don't think you're worthy of your rare slot, my friend. You are an uncommon at best. Gosh! That was the best part of his card. We're moving on to another Madrigal, a Juliet Madrigal. She is uncommon. And she says she's a 3-cost inkable card. She's a 1/4. She's an excellent cook. I am hungry, so I would hope so. When you play this character, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. If you remove damage this way, you may draw a card. I like this, but the caveat being that Rapunzel for 1 cost more is better.
And can also probably net you 3 cards rather than what this removes 2. Regardless, Rapunzel moves up to 3.
Yeah,
3.
And she draws up to 3 cards. She quests for 2. She's a 1/5. Sorry.
Kind of nice, I guess. The 1/4 stat line. I feel like they keep doing this stuff. At least with the Amber cards we've seen, they're quite bulky.
Yep.
Low attack.
Yeah, they're very good on the rear end. Sorry, Juliet. That was very personal, but you are very good on the rear end. But yeah, I just think Rapunzel for 1 ink more is better. For one ink more is just better. So,
I think the problem is you're not playing her on curve, right?
No, you're right, Abby. No.
You don't want to be playing her and taking damage off if you've got Rapunzel as an option.
Exactly.
What are the chances of things being damaged on turn 3, your turn 3, especially if you're going first?
Yeah, exactly. Like you'd need to be like an aggressive deck, but this doesn't play well in an aggressive deck. Whereas even Rapunzel plays well in an aggressive deck because she quests for 2 and she's a 1/5. So yeah, I'm sorry, Juliet, but I think universally we're going to say that you are just not quite Rapunzel. Better cook, but not better card. We've got a common coming up. Max, the Loyal Sheepdog. This is Prince Eric's Max from The Little Mermaid. He's a 3-cost 4/3, so it's a little bit different. We actually got some attack power for a change. He is inkable. If you play a character named Prince Eric, you may pay 1 less for this. Oh, sorry. If you have a character named Prince Eric in play, you may pay 1 less to play this character, making him 2-cost. And does only quest for 1. Meh.
I guess more of the fact it's a big body. Apart
Yep.
from that, I don't think it's it's a 2 cost for a 4/3, but you have to have Eric in play.
Yeah, no.
I think it only plays in a franchise deck. I think that's the other thing with some of these, right?
Yes.
Is franchise.
There is a new format worth.
So it'll be the new format.
Yes.
So this 100% plays in a. It's very good in the franchise deck.
Yes.
Because I can't see you playing the earlier Prince Eric in many decks.
No.
Other than a franchise deck, in which case, then because you'd have to be playing it on. You'd have to play an Eric on turn 1 in order for this to come out on 2.
Is there even a turn 1 Eric right now?
Yes, I think so.
Is there a new?
I can't remember what it is.
I think it's a red. I think there's a red one later on. We might come to. I might be wrong though.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up in the.
Yeah. So it is worth mentioning that there is a new format coming as a side event for big events like it's starting at Atlanta, where you get to pick 2 film franchises, and you can use any cards from those franchises regardless of their colours. So this one would be a Little Mermaid card, because he is Eric's dog, and Eric is the prince from the Little Mermaid. But you've no colour restriction, only film restriction. I do have some bad news for everybody that likes this format, which I do, by the way. But so it's a bit bad news for myself. That there is a lovely film called The Lion King. Where you can get a load of really cool cards, mostly in red. And then there's this awesome film called The Sword in the Stone, where you can get a lot of cards in purple. I can't help but feel
I didn't actually think of that.
That perhaps Ruby Amethyst kind of keeps most of its tools, because you get Rafiki at 1, you get Snake at 2, you get Fox at 3, Rabbit, Goat, and then you get Teeth and Ambition, Be Prepared, a bunch of different Madam Mims that are available at higher end.
It's kind of like half budget, half trying to be meta relevant. Ruby Amethyst.
You get
Scar. You get a bunch of Simbas because you can run. No, you do get Scar. He is lying. He's the villain he's the villain.
I forgot what franchise.
Yeah, he's a Lion King. But you get, not only do you get that, you get the little Simba as well. That's a bodyguard at 2, because you're not tied to Ruby Amethyst. You can play the 2-cost Simba in yellow. You can play the Steel Simba and Mufasa. You can also run Mufasa, that's the yellow one, and spin into stuff if you really want. So I can't help but feel maybe Little Mermaid. No, Sword in the Stone. By the way, you also get Arthur as well, the 3-cost uninkable Arthur that bounces stuff and gains your law in that as well. And
it's funny and upsetting at the same time.
Yeah, and the Lion King. That will be my deck for that format, I believe. But anyway, Max, we do think, thank you, Abby, for pointing out that yes, he might be playable in that format, but in general format, I don't think he is. So moving on.